Want to shop Walmart Black Friday deals first? Walmart Plus members get early access to our hottest deals. Join now and get 50% off a 1-year annual membership. Shop Black Friday deals first with Walmart Plus. See terms at walmartplus.com.
Hey gang, welcome back to the show. As always, I'm your host, Akil Stokes. I was trying to think of an interesting way to tease for the intro of today's podcast, but I couldn't really figure out a way to do it without really giving it away. So I'm just going to leave it at this. In today's episode of the Trading Coach Podcast, we're going to discuss a topic that I never really discussed before. And it takes us down some interesting paths, but ultimately, I think it's a very valuable episode, not just for you as a trader, but for you as a person as well. I had a question, but it's not quite related to the program. Maybe it is. Now I'm confused. I am reading Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Great book. I remember I didn't read a book until freshman, like a full book, until like the summer after my freshman year of college. Now I remember I read my first book. I was sitting in the I think the car broke down or something. I was sitting in the parking lot. And I think my car broke down. I was waiting to get towed, and I had this book. I was like, let's pop this open. And it was what was it? It was Rich Dad Poor Dad. My dad had given it to me, right? And then after I read that, I was like, oh man, books are cool. There's knowledge in this stuff, right? And I started reading more and more and more. And I remember I was actually gifted Think and Go Rich by Napoleon Hill by a customer. I used to work at a fitness center. I was the morning shifts. I was there like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'd have good conversations with the customer. They ask what I'm doing, and I'm like, they saw someone trying to better themselves, and it was this one person. They came in, and they give me like food in the morning, which was good because I was poor college kid, starving. But she also gave me a book, and she was like, I see you have a positive attitude. Like I see you I'd be studying stuff, while I'm at the front desk. Don't tell my boss. Even though he fired me anyway, it doesn't matter. So she gave me the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and I remember I loved that book. So I was reading Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I was wondering about chapter 3, which I have no idea about chapter 3. Chapter 3 is on faith. I was wondering, is it okay to have only faith in yourself and not a higher power? I do believe in energy and the universe and manifestation. I just don't know where to find faith because I don't believe in any gods. I am reading it for the third time, and I always get stuck on faith. Have you read it? What's your opinion? If this isn't something you can advise on, please disregard. Well, I cannot advise whether you have faith or not. That is not part of our training courses. But that's something I can't answer for you, right? Faith, religion, what you believe in, those are all personal decisions that you have to make. So I can't tell you that you should believe in God. No one can tell me if I should believe in God. No one can tell you what gods you should believe in, right? That is a separate journey, a separate spiritual journey that you either have to go through or not go through on your own. But do you have to have faith in a higher power to be alive, successful, any of that stuff? No. You don't have to, no, right? There are plenty of people out there that are agnostic, that are atheists, that are Christian, Catholic, Muslim, right? The list goes on forever, right? I think regardless of if you are religious or not, and you should have faith in yourself, right? Would you guys agree with that part? You can talk religion and politics all day and never get agreements out of people and probably start wars and stuff because that's how much wars start, right? But I think we can all agree that yes, you should have faith in yourself. And if you don't have faith in yourself, I don't know how you're going to be successful at anything. Faith in yourself, belief in yourself, whatever you want to call it. Yes. Whether you believe in universal energy, whether you believe in manifestation, whether you are a visualizer, whether you are affirmation person. I did the podcast the other day about, I used to read myself affirmations in the mirror, but I refuse to walk on hot coals because I think it's stupid. Choose what is the right medicine for you, right? The ultimate question that we want to ask is like, where do I want to be? What is it going to take to get there? And to get there is going to be different for each person. The fuel, we are all unique vessels. The fuel that each of us use is going to be slightly different, right? I did an interview with a good buddy of mine, Etienne Cret, Desire to Trade podcast. And we reviewed a part of my trading career where, I told the audience like, hey, I quit 3 jobs. And again, I would never advise that anyone does that. It is stupid, right? Let's give up all the money and safety to go off and follow a dream. But one, people do it all the time. I know so many people that have packed up and been like, hey, I'm moving I had a friend that just moved to Egypt. And I'm like, why? What are you going to do out there? She said, I don't know, figure it out. But she was just called to move to Egypt. Wanted to go to a different place in the world. Maybe it's the election that's coming up. But and she'll figure it out. But she packed up everything, didn't tell anyone, or told a select few people, and just left. And that's her MO. For me, I'm a procrastinator. I'm a back against the wall type of person. I don't get stuff done until like you have tied me up James Bond style and I have to get myself out of a mess. So what did I do? I put myself in a mess. I didn't purposely put myself in a mess. Like I didn't think it was going to end up being a mess, but I put myself in a mess and said, okay, clock's running down. Here's the ball. Do something with it. But that's when I operate my best. And I go back to all my periods in life, whether it's sports or whether it's school or whether it's just like even financial situations. When I've been in some very, very poor financial situations and I've always figured it out. When you get those red letters in and the rent's due and it's like final notices and you're about to get kicked out and evicted, right? You figure something out. And I've always performed well in those situations. And it's always brought something out of me that I wouldn't do before. I would get lazy when things were good. This happened when I first started making trading money as well. Things were doing good and I felt myself getting lazy because I'm like, this is good. And then I had the incident where I lost everything. And I felt that fire again. Right? Now I'm smart enough not to keep self-sabotaging myself. Some people will do that. Some people will self-sabotage just to put themselves in that situation where they feel that fire and purpose and whatever like that. I'm not willing to lose all my money because of that. I'd rather keep a lot of my money and figure out how to get that fire. I'll light a match on my finger if I want to feel that fire, right? So that's a better way for me. But people certainly self-sabotage themselves. We talked about this in another episode of Trading Coach Podcast about perfectionism. Right? So whatever that fuel is for you, and again, we're all unique vessels and you got to find the fuel, whether it's you're called by faith, religion, whether you're called by money, whether you're called by purpose, whether you're called by helping others, right? We have to eventually find our place and find what motivates us, right? I dealt with this a lot and I didn't know how to deal with it in the beginning of my career, but I do now because I'm a much more well-rounded person. But I told you guys I never wanted to coach, right? I just want to selfishly make as much money as possible from the markets and never talk to you guys ever. Just be on my own little island, do my own little thing. Like I don't mind podcasts because it's radio only. But my personality is I would much rather be like in a turtle shell somewhere where no one notices me, just like doing whatever the hell I want. Right? That is my personality. Low key, no fame, don't know who I am, just live my life, unbothered. Right? And I never wanted to coach because I never really wanted to, I'm not antisocial, but I never really wanted to talk to people. Right? But over the years, as I was always coaching track, and then as I started trading and then eventually started coaching trading after managing money. And managing money made me discover what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to help snobby rich people get richer, especially ones that treat people badly. I didn't feel any value in that. It was fun. It was fun. I wasn't treated well by most people. Not everyone. I had some really good clients. But there were some people that didn't treat me well at all. And then you feel like you can't do anything because, it's their money you're trading. But I didn't feel any fulfillment. I just felt negative the entire time. If I made the money, it was like, good job. That's what you're supposed to do. If I lost the money, then they were even more upset, right? It was like a lose-lose situation. I couldn't win. And I would go to sleep at night and I didn't feel any joy. It just felt like an empty vessel, right? As I started coaching track and field, or when I was coaching track and field, and I started seeing after the first couple waves, after the first 4 years, right? Because at first I'm coaching, I'm just want to win. And then after you get your first wave, your first 4 years, you see people graduate and you see them get jobs and get married and have children and become parents. And they reach out to you and they say like, hey, you took me from this type of crazy kid doing all this dumb stuff in college to like a mature person. You start to see the value of what you did, and that you start to feel good. And that's what made me fall in love with coaching traders. As we work with you guys on a journey, and you see people progress and grow through the journey and change their lives. And although you didn't do any of that, you played a very small role, and it makes you feel good. And I've always been someone that gave to charity. I always worked with kids and did stuff like that. It's when I first realized that good feeling is what I care about most. I love money. Don't get me wrong. Love money. Don't ever say, Akil, I'm not that guy. I had a guy before who I was like, hey, if you won the lottery, random question. I'm like, hey, if you won the lottery, what would you spend it on? And blah, blah, blah. What's the first thing you would do? Or like, would you rather, what was it? Would you rather take the lump sum? This was it. It was if you won the lottery, would you rather take the full lump sum at once? Or would you rather take the annual payout? And it was like an investing question. Like, would you invest? Like, how would you make more? Investing it all in the market right now, or blah, 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 blah. That's what I was trying to get out. And the guy was like, if I won the lottery, I wouldn't keep the money because I didn't deserve it. I'm like, bull. All right, you chivalry. Yeah, whatever. Bull. I stand for greater things. But I'm not turning down a couple $1 million if I win the lottery. Are you guys? That's the biggest BS I ever heard. And I was trying to tell him, like, look, he's like, well, I don't accept money if I didn't earn it. I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, well, take that money and just do something charitable with it. Build some schools. Donate to breast cancer, right? You don't have to, I'm not saying you have to keep it, but you still take it and do something good with it, right? So I'm calling bull on that. That's, he's trying to look good for the internet. I think there's a fine line between like being like value-based and stupid. I can understand if someone's like, hey, Orsi got this bag of drug money, you want it? Like, no, okay, I'm not gonna touch drug money. Like, no, or like this money came from child trafficking, right? That's when your value should stand in the middle and say, no, I'm not taking this dirty money. But lottery money, probably not as dirty. A little bit dirty, but not as dirty, right? So BS. But anyway, I found value, happiness, joy in coaching. And this is why I coach today. Because like, no offense to trading doesn't fill me the same way as this. Trading is good. I love trading. I love the puzzle of the market, but like it's a meal that I've eaten every day for the last 18 years, right? It gets boring, right? I got another friend that lost his sense of smell and taste during COVID. Never got it back. And eating is horrible. He just eats and doesn't really taste anything, right? That's what trading is. It fills me. I need it to live, but I don't really get joy from it. I get joy from interacting with you guys and helping you guys. And I wake up excited to do this every day. And I go to sleep excited to do it the next day. And when I get questions I can't answer, right? Jason always says I'm like a dog with a bone. Like it gets me excited to try to figure out how I can help you. And that's what I've discovered in this journey of self-discovery. That's what fuels me, helping others. My wife's the same way, in a different way. But helping others fuels me. That's my driver. So you got to find that driver for you. And some people are driven by this. Some people are driven for that. Could be faith-based. It could be not faith-based. Doesn't matter. It's what is driving you to be your best. And it takes trial and error, dark journeys to discover that. But once you find it and latch onto it, you'll know your purpose. And then you can forever be driven and be fulfilled by that motivating thing. So I'm not sure if that answers the question, but I don't think there is an answer to the question, right? No one can tell you what to believe in. No one has to believe in something specific or not believe in something specific to be successful. We are all unique. We are all different. It's very similar to trading, right? There's no one strategy. It's about making it our own, finding something that fits us, and then being the best that we can at executing that thing. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. A little bit different, I know, but hey, that's the Trading Coach podcast for you. Sometimes we dive into really specific trading related issues. Sometimes we kind of dance around the exterior of trading, and trading and your life are ultimately intertwined in this weird little cluster of stuff. So I believe that life lessons help your trading lessons help your life. So whatever we can do to help you become a more well-rounded trader and individual is going to be helpful. So hope you guys enjoyed the show. Leave me a rating and a review if you haven't done so already. And until next time, plan your trade, trade your plan. Take care.